So, welcome panel. Earlier today we heard a lot about how companies themselves are implementing inclusive practices and products. And I think before we even do that, we often start with assessing our current situation, getting the data before deciding what to do. And today we're privileged to have a number of actors and players and companies who have regional experience, but also able to localize on a sort of country level context. So maybe I'll start with you, Robert. I know that HSBC have taken up the ILO self-assessment tool and implemented the self-assessment in over 19 countries. So why did you decide to do it? Where did you do it? And how did you get executive sponsors to get on board?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the organizers for putting this together. And so maybe just to put a little bit of context as to why I'm here as the Chief Risk Officer, I'm not really here because of that. I'm here because I sponsor the Employee Resource Group ability at HSBC here in Singapore. So I wear two hats. In the day, I guess I manage risk, and the other half of the day, I sponsor the ERG. So it's in that capacity that I'm here. And I think that goes to part of your question, which is around executive sponsorship. We have used the self-assessment tool across the region. That's not a process that we ran from Singapore. It was run regionally. So we were one of the markets that participated in that. But that whole process had sponsorship from one of the senior CEOs in the region. So actually it was a process that was run by the business rather than the HR or the people function. And it was run with senior sponsorship from business leaders. That has made a big difference. So when we did the assessment, for those of you that are familiar with it or not familiar with it, it's quite a simple tool to assess where you stand on disability inclusion across 4 different pillars. We sat down as the leadership team, the ExCo in the bank, to just answer some of those questions honestly. It wasn't a process run by the ERG, it wasn't a process run by the HR function. It was the leadership of the organization sitting there. Didn't take a lot of time, and we challenged ourselves. We were quite self-critical about where we thought we really stood on some of the issues that were being assessed in that tool. So it was simple. We did it at the end of one of our leadership meetings, went back to it, challenged it. It didn't disappear off the sort of top table in the organization. Came back with a pretty practical assessment of where we stood, and we consolidated that regionally. So each market did that. That's allowed us to step back and understand where we stand relatively. So you might think that as a global organization, we move at the same pace everywhere. That's absolutely not the case. There's pockets of strength and weakness. Some markets may be inherently more mature, more developed. Some it's not inherent, it's because of the actors in those markets that have pushed some of the agenda. But that tool helped us understand respectively where we stood. And now we're beginning to, I guess, match markets where there are key strengths and key areas where we can make more progress.